Hey, Bombini everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of the Cruise Geeks Fantastic Guide to Snorkeling. Today we're talking snorkels. Well, we have to talk about snorkels. This is a snorkeling series, and that's what this episode is all about. We're going to look at some different types of snorkels. We're going to look at some different features these snorkels have, and then hopefully it'll help you to decide which one is right for you. So let's talk about snorkels. There are a lot of different options out there for snorkels, but let me just say this. If you want to save money and you're going to buy your own gear, this is where to save it. You don't need a fancy snorkel. This is a basic, super basic snorkel. This one has some features that makes it a little bit more expensive, which I'll get into in a bit. But the basic shape is your inexpensive snorkel. You can get a snorkel kind of like this, made out of plastic, for probably 10 bucks. Okay, you don't have to spend a lot of money. It's a pretty simple device. You breathe through this, the air comes through here, this is up out of the water. That's it. That's what a snorkel is. That's what a snorkel does. That's it. Now, you can get snorkels with a lot of other features, so let me go over some of those. There are some styles of snorkels out there. There is a snorkel called the semi-dry snorkel. Now, what that snorkel is going to have is it's going to have a special feature at the top of the snorkel, and when a wave comes over or you stick your head at too far of an angle, it's going to kind of protect some of that water or some of that snorkel so the water doesn't get in and you don't breathe it into your mouth. That's a semi-dry snorkel. Not a bad option. In my opinion, doesn't really make that much of a difference, but if you're in a really wavy area, it can help. Now, this is a dry snorkel as opposed to a semi-dry snorkel. And listen to this. Let me try it again. Listen to this. You hear that? What that is a little device in here. It's a floater, and when this snorkel goes under the water, this goes up and it blocks off this canal, so no water can get through here. This is a dry snorkel. You can literally go underwater with this snorkel and come back up and it'll be pretty much dry. Now, this is a great snorkel for people who are a little nervous about getting the water into their mouth. This is a good snorkel if you're staying up at the surface. This is a good snorkel if you're not super comfortable clearing your snorkel, and when you get a little water in there, you tend to do this. Okay, this might be the snorkel for you. Then you have your snorkels that are built in. This is also a dry snorkel that comes on this full face mask, and this snorkel has the same feature. You might be able to see that device in there. I don't think you'll be able to pick it up on camera, but there's a little thing that closes this off. So this is another dry snorkel. All right, those are your basic snorkel designs. But those aren't the only options you get when it comes to snorkeling. You can also have a snorkel like this that is just one solid piece and doesn't really move. It's non-flexible at all. Or you can have this kind. This has this flexible piece down here at the bottom. This is great for scuba diving. If you use a snorkel, I'll be honest with you, I don't use a snorkel when I scuba dive. I used to, I don't ever use it. I just stopped taking it with me. But if you were, when you're up at the surface, you could breathe through this. This should be on this side, by the way. This is a left-handed snorkel. It's very specific. This snorkel, it doesn't matter. You can put it on either side. This snorkel has curves and stuff. You gotta do it. When you take it out of your mouth, it hangs down, it's out of your way, it's not sticking up here, betting you in the chin and stuff like that. With this snorkel, what I would do if I was diving or I was not going to be in the water for a bit, I'd have to spin it this way. It does the same thing. This is going to cost you a little bit more money. It's a little bit of a luxury. Is it necessary? You decide. Now, another feature of snorkels is the Purge. And I'm not talking about like that movie where everybody just goes crazy killing each. No, that's different. Purge. Okay, this is a Purge that is on the bottom of your snorkel, and what it does is it lets water out but not in. So when you get water in your snorkel, you give it a good and you blow the air, you blow the water comes out and it doesn't come back in. The Purge means that you're going to be able to blow some of that water right out of the bottom as well as out of the top. Now, what's the advantage of this? it's easier to clear some of the water. What's the disadvantage of this? It's harder to clear all of the water. So you decide, do you want a little bit of water, or do you want no water? For me, this is my snorkel that I use. This is my snorkel of choice. It's super easy to clear. It's a simple tube. I clear it all out with a little bit of breath, no problem. So this is what I like, but some people do prefer these. This is not right or wrong. This is subjective, what you like. Some people like purges, some people like dry valves, some people like semi-dry valves. I like a basic snorkel. That's all I need. You know, I think a lot of these specialty things, purges and stuff, you know, they're like training wheels on a bicycle. You start riding a bicycle, those training wheels are amazing. They help you to go, they make you feel safe, they make you feel comfortable, but after a while, they're kind of holding you back. That's kind of how I see purges and dry snorkels and all these things. They're great for the beginner, they're great for the novice, they're great for somebody who is just dipping their toes into the snorkeling world every now and then. But if you're like me and you snorkel a lot, eventually you're going to be like, get that purge off of my snorkel. I don't want it there. Now, here's another feature that you can find on snorkels. It is the snorkel keeper. This doesn't have one because it's attached right here. So the snorkel keeper keeps your snorkel attached to your mask. In this case, it attaches right here. By the way, some of these masks, I didn't mention this in the mask episode, have a little thing where you can hook your GoPro or other action cam up there. This one does not have that, but snorkel keepers can be kind of complicated or kind of simple. So the one on this is basically tailor-made for the snorkel. You notice this snorkel is not a simple cylinder. It's a little bit squished. And so the snorkel keeper fits it perfectly. It fits onto your mask strap here. So you put it on your mask strap, put it on your head, and boom, you're good to go. Now, the nice thing about this snorkel keeper is, check this out. It goes back and forth. That's really cool because it makes it more comfortable. You know, your bend is going to be a little different when you take it out of your mouth. It bends down. It's a good feature. I do like this feature. Here's another example of a similar model. This is a snorkel keeper. This part would go on the cylinder of a standard snorkel. It stretches out so it'll fit different kinds, and then your mask strap goes through here. A nice feature of this particular one is you can just pop it on and off your mask pretty easily. So say you want to use your mask to dive, you don't want the snorkel, bloop, you just pull the strap out, you're good to go, just like that. Now here's the snorkel keeper that I use because one, it's super inexpensive, two, these are nice, but they don't really make that much difference to me, to be honest. This is all I need. This is a super simple snorkel keeper. It does take a little more work to put on and off of the mask because I have to slide this all the way up to the top and then put the mask strap through, put this part on the snorkel, and then slide it all the way down. It takes a little bit more effort, but you know, these cost, like you can get a pack of these for a few bucks. So snorkel keepers, even if you use one of these fancier ones or one of these comes with your snorkel, sometimes it comes with your snorkel and they break off, and then I have a snorkel, had a really nice adjustable up and down thing. It broke, the snorkel's trash. So you can get one of these as a backup, put it on your snorkel, keep them in your bag, and then you don't have to worry about it. That's what I would recommend. But what other features do snorkels have? You may be asking yourself. Well, let me answer that for you. There are other features out there. These are the main ones that you just saw. This one, however, is a little bit special. It's a few more dollars because this snorkel is very collapsible. Now, this is nice because it's easy to pack. Look at that, boop, right back into shape. It's easy to pack, but it's also great for me because, again, I like to free dive, which means swimming deep underwater. This one is just really comfortable. It just compresses, no problem. I come back up, pop it out of the water, bloop, ready to go. It's really super awesome. I love this snorkel. It was not as expensive as other snorkels that I've owned, but yet it is my favorite snorkel. So the question you want to know the answer to is, should you buy or rent a snorkel? Well, look, if you bought a mask, just buy a snorkel because it's not going to cost you that much. There is some disadvantages to renting a snorkel. How many mouths has this been in? Do you really want that in your mouth? Yeah, they say they clean them. Just buy a snorkel. if you don't want to spend a lot of money, don't spend a lot of money. Seriously, under 20 bucks, you can get a basic snorkel. You don't have to break the bank for this thing. If you want to, you can buy a super expensive snorkel. It's got all the bells and whistles that you may like. But really, my opinion is, if you're going to buy a mask, buy a snorkel. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for episode 3 of the Cruise Geeks Fintastic Guide to Snorkeling. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope it's answered some questions and enlightened you to the world of snorkels. And if you have any questions, comments, or things you'd like to see covered in future episodes, make sure to comment down below so that we can cover those for you. And if you did enjoy this episode, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell so you get notified when the next episode comes out. Until that next episode, have a fantastic day.